Okay, we're rolling.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. Now, this episode is going to be interesting. I'm glad you're here. This is an episode you're not going to hear on any of those other podcasts about podcasting. And I know you. You listen to more than my show. You listen to a lot of other gurus. I feel like you're cheating on me. But I can tell you that they're not going to talk about this. Why? It doesn't make them any money, first of all. Two, it's counter to all of the other growth gurus out there. And I think it's a healthier vision of podcasting. And I think they're too chicken to talk about this. Yeah, I said it. They're too chicken. I'm not. I'm glad you're here. A strategic growth mindset for podcasters that you're not going to hear on those other podcasts about podcasting. I'm glad you pressed play. Stick with me. Stick with me. We're all friends here. This will be interesting. So there's a saying that I've held true for a long time. I haven't really talked about it much here on this podcast, but it's kind of a business thing. And basically the saying is this: stay small enough, long enough, and you'll be big enough soon enough. I'll say it again. Stay small enough, long enough, and you'll be big enough soon enough. Thanks for listening. Goodbye. No. Okay, well, I'll expand on this. I think as podcasters, this saying of stay small enough, long enough, and you'll be big enough soon enough, help us to frame a more strategic growth mindset around consistency, sustainability in your and my podcast journey. Podcasting rewards longevity. Broad strokes here. More than velocity. For most creators, growth doesn't come from going viral. It comes from staying in the game long enough for consistency, skill, and connection to compound. Remember we talked about compound interest? Yeah. Stay small enough, long enough is a mindset that helps podcasters focus on what actually builds loyalty in your audience rather than chasing shortcuts. Chasing shortcuts is what gurus use to make money off of you. Yeah, I know. You've spent money on them. You've spent no money on me. You spent money on them. And how's that going for you? So there's a few things I want to talk through. 7 different main points here. I'll break them up into chunks, and it's in the show notes. You don't have to come to my website to get the show notes, by the way. It's right there on your phone. But I would love you to come to my website, howtopodcast.ca, because then you and I can meet and chat about this over a virtual coffee. Yeah. The first point. Number 1, small doesn't mean insignificant. It means sustainable. Now, there are podcasts about podcasting that focuses on, for what I would say, all of the wrong reasons to be a podcaster, like how to be a top 100 podcast. Who really cares? Who gives a crap? Really? For that, I don't think that's important. Personally speaking, I think connecting with one person is more important than being in the top 100. I have a different perspective. I have a different agenda. I have a different goal for my show. If you're trying to make money through your podcast and that's your main focus, then maybe top 100 would serve you well. But 92% of people don't make money with their podcast, life-changing money. So to be in the top 100 it only serves 8% of the audience, 8% of the podcasters out there. They're speaking to a very small group of people. Small doesn't mean insignificant. It means sustainable. When your show is small, you can experiment freely. You have no sponsors looking over your shoulder. You don't report to anybody. You can refine your voice, develop your voice, learn about your audience, interact with your audience, change formats anytime you want. You can do segments. You could do all kinds of different things in your show. You can make imperfect episodes without major consequences. Who cares? Who cares? It's not perfect. It can get better. Who cares? Large shows, the big shows, the 8%ers, they can't pivot easy. But small shows have fun, and they're fully creative and flexible, and they can do whatever they want. They don't need to go to legal to sign a document so they can proceed. They can do whatever they want. The early stage is where your podcast identity forms. Staying small long enough means you prioritize improvement over exposure. There are podcasts that look down on hobby podcasters. They want you to turn it into a business. They're like, take your hobby podcast and make it a business. Then you are a credible podcaster. There are people who flaunt their percent of global ranking. You're going to hear this a lot. And it drives me into despair when I hear people say, I'm a top 1% podcast. Well, yeah. Top 1%, are you? Based on what? Oh, based on this website that told me I'm a top 1%. Okay. Did you know that that stat is not based on current active podcasts? It's based on every podcast that's ever been created from the beginning of time, most of which are dead shows that don't exist anymore. Congratulations, you're better than a podcast that doesn't create podcasts anymore. That's like saying, I'm one of the fastest runners ever. And saying I'm one of the top 1% runners in the world. And you're like, wow, really? Top 1%, Dave? Wow, you're fast. Yeah, top 1%. Compared to what, Dave? Oh, compared to every runner from the beginning of time to today. I'm one of the top 1%. Wait a minute. You're a faster runner than somebody who died 500 years ago? Yeah. I'm way faster than they are. They're dead. So congratulations, you're faster than somebody who's dead. That's a stat? You're proud of that. You're proud of being faster than someone who doesn't exist anymore. And that's your measurement of success. You're faster than everyone in the world who's ever lived for all time. You're one of the top 1%. Okay? Oh, okay. Staying small enough, long enough, means that you prioritize improvement over exposure. It's not about going viral. It's about growing over time. And number two, small shows build deep connection faster than those big shows. You know, I love shows like Smartless. Those guys are hilarious. I love listening to those three. But Will has never responded to my messages. Jason Bateman has never, ever reached out. I don't have a calendar invite for any of these guys. You know, it's almost like they don't have time for me as a listener of Smartless. It's weird because I love their show, but they have no idea who I am. Like, I don't even think they care about their stats. Like, why would they, right? I know they do care about their audience, and I love their show. I love listening to their show because they are hilarious. But they have zero connection with me as a member of their audience. Like zero. Like, and there's nothing there. Small shows build deeper connections faster than the big shows do. You might have 10, 50 listeners of your show, but those 10, 25, 50 listeners, those are people who are choosing you in a world drowning in content, like dripping in content, like all around them is content, and they've chosen you. Small audiences allow you to reply to every comment, learn every listener's pain point, ask questions and get direct feedback, build community before you scale, and your scale of growth dilutes the intimacy that podcasts are known for. This is how true fans are created. And true fans are the foundation of long-term growth for your podcast. And so often, new podcasters, overlook long-term growth as a foundation. They just want to get to the finish line. They just want the 100,000. They want to be in the top 100 podcasts. They want to be the top 1% global podcast. But they overlook the path to get there. Small shows build deep connections faster than big shows. Number 3, staying small allows you to develop systems before they break. Big shows need editors, producers, distribution workflows, content calendars, guest pipelines, monetization, legal, HR, a person to get your coffee, a person to stir your coffee, a person to take your empty coffee cup away. Big shows have big overhead. You don't want to figure all that out after thousands of people are watching. Staying small allows you to develop all of the systems that you need for a future successful show. The stay small stage is where you build your recording workflow. It's where you understand how to read analytics and understand what your audience is telling you through your analytics. You get to learn how to promote your episodes on a consistent basis. You get to learn about how to optimize your podcast titles, your thumbnails, your artwork for your podcast, and your formats, especially on YouTube. It helps you to build repeatable processes that support your podcast scaling up in the future. By the time your audience begins to grow, your systems won't crumble under the pressure of growth. Staying small allows you to develop the systems before they can break. Number 4, longevity matters more than early performance. Here's where I see a lot of podcasters stumble. They start a show, they do 5 episodes, and they get 10 listens. And they go, I'm out. This is not what I expected. I've got 20,000 followers on Instagram. I got 300,000 followers on TikTok. Why do I have 5 listens to my podcast? This isn't working. Podcasts are broken. Most podcasters fade between 7 to 12 episodes because podcasters mistakenly interpret slow growth as failure. But podcast platforms reward consistent publishing, a deep catalog, and long-term listener retention. You only need one episode to take off, and that one episode might take 20 episodes to create. It might take 200 episodes. It might take 700 episodes. But you only need one episode to take off. And when it takes you 20 episodes to get there, 50 episodes or 100, you just never know. But you won't find out if you stop. Staying small long enough means you continue even when momentum feels slow. That persistence is what actually creates momentum. Longevity matters more than early performance. Don't give up too early. And number 5, small enough is the sandbox where you get to learn your craft. Why do sports teams have minor leagues? Like one level below professional. Why? It's a sandbox. It's where players go to stay active, get training, get play time, get a chance to swing the bat, shoot the puck, score the goal, run yardage. It's a place for people to play in the sand and learn their craft better. When the stakes are low, the learning is high. In the early stage, podcasters should focus on clarity, pacing, storytelling, using better hooks in your podcast, a better conversational flow, whether you're solo or you have a guest, sound quality, interview skills, and retention on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and all the platforms. People listening to your episodes longer. The longer people listen, the better your retention. The better your retention, the better your show is for the platforms that distribute your show. You need time to get good. As a new podcaster, you're not good. At all. You're not. And that's a good thing. It's actually a good thing that you're not good. And when people promise that they can make you good with no effort, they're lying to you. You get good by doing. You don't get good by a course. You don't get good by listening. You get good by doing. Most high-performing shows today have had years of low listenership episodes that nobody remembers, but those episodes have built a foundation for future growth. Small enough is the sandbox where you learn your craft. Number 6, growth happens when you're ready for it, not when you demand or expect it. So here's the truth. A viral moment before you've found your voice can actually harm your show long term. You're not ready for it. That restaurant that's been open for a day and a half and some influencer shows up at the door and brings 300,000 people into that new business. A business not ready for it. They're not. The staff is tripping over each other. Somebody just burnt something in the back. They forgot to hire somebody to wash dishes. There's a lot of things going wrong, and they're not ready for success yet. A viral moment before you've found your voice as a podcaster can actually do more harm for your show than anything else. Growth arrives at the moment your craft, your consistency, and your systems align, not one moment before. Stay small enough, long enough is about giving yourself time to be discoverable. Stay small enough, long enough is about developing a backlog that proves that your show is worth following. Stay small enough, long enough is about understanding your analytics deeply. And stay small enough, long enough is about iterating based on the actual listener behavior and comments that your audience has told you about your show. When you put in the time, being big enough becomes inevitable. Because growth happens when you're ready for it, not when you demand or expect it. And lastly, number 7, soon enough comes faster than you expect. Podcasting rewards consistency and compounding. Here's what compounds over time. Your show becomes search-driven in discovery. Your show is recommended. Your show catches the attention of algorithms. Your show is talked about through word of mouth. People start talking to each other about your show. Your show grows on social clips, reaching the right audience at the right time. Your show grows through guest networking and spreading your content, making relationships, connecting with people, building that true human-to-human relationship with people who know, love what you do, have been a guest on your show, and proudly state to the world, I was on your podcast. These things take time. All these things together take time. But once they kick in, you will grow faster than you've ever imagined. Most podcasters underestimate how long it takes to grow and how fast growth accelerates once everything falls into place. Soon enough is never immediate. For the person in the back who's not paying attention, soon enough is never immediate, but it always arrives for the podcaster who stays consistent long after all of the others quit. So if you want to be a top 1% podcaster, don't compare yourself to shows that don't exist. If you want to be a top 1% runner, don't compare yourself to somebody who died 500 years ago. That's not a real thing. You just sticking it out will make you successful. That's how it works. The key takeaway for you as a podcaster: success isn't about starting big. And this is where a lot of podcasters, I believe, really struggle, is they want to start big. They want a show, they want to launch it, they want to have a big podcast launch, they want to have all this great noise and fanfare and this and that and cannons and that goofy little blow-up thing that stands outside by the road that looks like it's waving its arms and flipping around. They want an elephant. I need an elephant. Elephants help get attention. I need a circus. I need elephants. I need dancing things. I need a squirrel that can ride in the water on skis. I want all these things. I want all this fanfare, and I want to start big. Success isn't about starting big. It's about starting small, long enough to become the kind of podcaster that people want to discover. And the type of podcast that is the kind that people stick with once they do discover it. If you want a podcast that will connect with people more than any other show, it's very simple. It goes back to this saying that we started with. Stay small enough, long enough, and you'll be big enough soon enough. If you need help with this, howtopodcast.ca. It's a website, and it has everything you need, including time with me, to help you plan out and grow your show. So whether you're starting, whether you're growing, or whether you're frustrated, go visit howtopodcast.ca. Thanks for being here. Hey, thanks for being here to the end of the episode. That means a lot to me. It means a lot to all the players and all the apps. You're telling the apps, this is a podcast worth listening to. So you've just made this show better. So thank you. Now, I've had people reach out to me and they're like, Dave, I need to start a podcast and I'd love to start. But when I come to your show, there's a lot of episodes and I don't know where to start. How do I skip the line? How do I get to where I want to be without listening to over 500, 600 episodes? How do we make this happen? I love what you do, but I want to just get going. Well, I do offer consultations on podcasting and helping you and launching podcasts and coaching and mindset and everything. Technology, interviewing techniques, whatever you can think of, I can help you with. And I have some paid offerings then to help you with that. So if you want to skip the line, great. You and I can work together. Let's figure out what you can afford. Let's figure out what we can do together. Always happy to help. Understand, though, this podcast is always going to be free. So you can bypass paying anything for anything because this show's always free. The meetups that we do, which is podcast consulting in a community setting, always free, twice a week. Over 2 years we've been doing it. There's always a free option. I'm not going to charge you to be here as a listener. But if you want to skip the line and kind of condense 500 plus episodes, then let's work together, you and I together. And I have some paid offerings. Reach out to me. We can talk about it. howtopodcast.ca. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to the end. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate you being part of this community. Always free, but always helpful. It's a How to Podcast series. Thanks for being here. Cheers. Hey, it's Dave. Thanks for sticking around for the extra. At the end, most people are gone by now. They've already headed out to the cars. Just you and me left. And we're just kind of cleaning up around here. But I thought I'd stick around in case you had a question. And I actually had somebody reach out and said, Dave, what are you using to record your podcast? Because I don't know where to start with a recording platform. So I'm using a desktop Windows computer, and I'm using Audacity, which is completely free. And you can download it, and off you go. You can just hit record. It's pretty straightforward. After you've used it a few times, you're like, I got the hang of this. Takes a little bit to get used to at the beginning if you've never done recording before. I'm a music editor, so I do recordings with musicians, and I record my own music. So Audacity has been my choice for almost as long as Audacity's been around. Many, 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 many years. So I know this platform inside and out, and it's just my go-to. It's like, the one thing I would say is, whatever platform you use to record your podcast, just stick with it. There's a lot of people who are going to pull you in many directions about a bunch of different options to record your podcast on. But the platform you use and that you're most comfortable with is the best choice for you. That's it, right? So whether it's Audacity or Reaper or Hindenburg or whatever, the best recording platform is the one that you feel most comfortable with. I'm happy to show you Audacity and do screen shares specific to podcasting, because you don't need to know all the music stuff built into here. You don't need to know like how to do tempo and time signatures and all that's already built into Audacity. You don't need to know any of that. So we can ignore all that stuff. And we can just focus on what you need to know. And I'm happy to show you that anytime. So that's what I'm using, Audacity. It's free. It can work on Apple products. It can work on Windows. And it's what I go to. And it's what I recommend to any new podcaster as a starting point. Before you go start spending, $60 a month, $100 a month on these more expensive platforms, which truly are just really detailed for musicians more than spoken word audio. There's not a lot of complications to what we're doing with an audio podcast. that require you to spend $100 a month. That's just too much. Just try Audacity as a starting point. And you can go on YouTube University and you can type in Audacity, and there'll be people teaching you up-to-date stuff about Audacity. But again, if you just want to hang out with your buddy Dave here and you want to just do a screen share, I can show you exactly how I use it, show you a few settings you should put into place, and off you go. It's just practice. That's all it is. Don't let technology overwhelm you or intimidate you. This is something that you can do, and with the right help, you can learn anything. Hey, you've learned how to become a podcaster, so you can learn how to do Audacity. You're pretty smart. I have faith in you. So if you need help, reach out. And again, I'm using a Windows computer and a $50 microphone, $80 Canadian, $50 US, a USB mic that plugs directly into my computer. I don't need any other technology to make my mic talk to my computer, and Audacity for free. And that's it. I've been using the same mic for 2,000 episodes. So if you like the show and you like how it sounds and all that, I appreciate that. And it's simpler than you think. You're making it too difficult by getting too many opinions. Make a decision, go forward, and start recording. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sticking around for a little bonus here at the end. And I'd love to chat anytime over at howtopodcast.ca. Take care. I'll talk to you on the next episode. See ya.